What it do, Bina crew? I don't know if you're ready, but I know I am. Now this is a full detailed tutorial, so let's get into it.
Yeah. My bitch love Coco. Woo back baby. Woo back baby.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and flash through this because I already did an in-depth summary on how to do her eyebrows and cut crease. So if you haven't already viewed that, you can go ahead and watch it and come back to this video. And now I'm just gonna be proceeding with the application process. I'm starting off with my drugstore Fit Me foundation in 225, and I tend to use a foundation that's about one shade darker than them, so when I put my concealer, it'll lighten up their face and match perfectly. Okay, for my foundation, I always use my MB6 buffer brush from Morphe, and then I also use my mini buffer brush to shade in the foundation in like areas like her eyes, near her eyebrows, around her nose, stuff like that. And I really don't use a lot of foundation if it's not needed, unless they ask for full coverage, or of course if they need full coverage, but she doesn't really have much blemishes, so it's not necessary. After using my brush, I use a sponge to make sure everything is set, because as you know, with brushes you can always have brush strokes and stuff like that, so a dampened sponge does help blend it out more. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking my setting powder to set the foundation, of course. I feel like it gives it that good matte look. For the next step, I will be taking two light shaded concealers. I'm using first the Tan Deep Sand, and then I'll be using the Medium Tan Sand foundation. Concealer, excuse me. Oopsies. Anyways, you get it. But if you don't have Tarte money, NYX concealers is always go-to. LA Pro Conceal is always go-to. You can still buy on a budget, like I always say. And I'm just gonna continue going in and out towards the end of this video. I just want you guys to see how I do my concealing process and how I highlight her face. And there's different techniques, but for my dramatic glams and sometimes my soft glams, I do use this technique. Oftentimes, I'll either use my sponge or I'll use my foundation brush to blend in the concealer. I am now taking my Juvia's Place contour stick, and I ran out of her shade, so I started using this shade. But of course, I know how to blend very well, so you shouldn't be alarmed. But for you, you might want to get about 2 shades lighter than this though. And this is exactly what I do during my contour process. Like, I don't like to do too heavy contour. This is the part where people over define their face and then they end up looking like a different person. So you have to be really careful when you contouring. I'm taking my Beauty Bakery, what is this again? Beauty Bakery powder in cassava. And this is what I'm using to set her face. This is what I used to set all my clients' face, because the powder, it doesn't create like a bad flashback. And it's like really easy to blend in when you take your brush and you're trying to come over with that finishing powder. This is a Morphe powder palette. I don't remember what it's called, hell. But I just take a light brown shade to use to powder contour her cheeks. I'm taking my Mario Badescu, I think, setting spray. Well, it's actually a spray, but I use it to set makeup and it smells really good. And it retails for like, I think $4, unless you get like the big bottle. Now, I tend to highlight after I set the makeup, so that's what I'm doing right now. And this is my Juvia's Place Royalty 2 loose highlighter. But even though it comes out bright, I just go back with my brush and dampen it down a little bit. After that, now I'm lining up her lips and blending it out. This lip combination, I use it fairly with a black eyeliner pencil. And I just use this when I want a soft nude pink lip. And for the last step, I'm gonna set it and we'll be back with the final look. Now, of course, if you enjoy this video or learn something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.